My name is Jess Attilli, and I've been a teacher for almost 17 years now. I started teaching many years ago in the state of Maryland. Actually, my first job was actually in rural West Virginia. Taught in Maryland for many years, but you know, the reason that I kind of got into teaching was because I always wanted to, I loved history, I loved working with kids, and you know, my dad would always talk to me all the time about history, and that was kind of how my dad and I kind of formed our bond. And so anyway, go a few years ahead, I was in 11th grade and I had Mr. Barrett was my English teacher, my social studies teacher, my history teacher. And he was so passionate about it, and his delivery was just so incredible that I knew that's what I wanted to do. I just knew it was what I wanted to do. And I went to college and I did it. And, you know, I've been doing it. And for those of you that know me or don't know me, I've been doing Japanese martial arts for most of my life. And we always have a saying in Japanese martial arts, you know, that the teacher goes before the student. You know, and the teacher, he goes before the student, and the student walks in the shadow of the teacher. The teacher protects the student. The teacher guides the student. And then when the student is ready, we want the student to surpass the teacher, because that's our job. Our job is to make our students better than us. First, we protect them so that they can get what they need to go into the world, and then we send them into the world so they can be better than us. And if we do that, then every generation gets better, right? I mean, that's kind of what we're hoping for. So a couple of years ago, and I don't want to give names, but I had this one class. It was a basic class. These kids were, a lot of people had given up on these kids. And I was teaching them. And this is back when we used to teach world history at Strongsville. And so we talked about the Romans, and we talked about the Greeks, and so I did a lesson, and we all dressed up as Romans, and we made phalanxes, and we marched in the soccer field, and we created an assembly line. We did a factory simulation, and we did all this, and I remember the class, and what sticks out most in that class for me is the fact that I got about 10 of those kids, 10 out of the 25 that were in that class, 10 out of the 25, the next year they left my class and they went to the regular class. They didn't stay in basic. They didn't go to basic U.S. history. They went to regular U.S. history. And, you know, all I can say is that I really felt that I made such a difference in their lives. And they left that class better, you know, better. And in that class, I had a young man named Brent Saito, and he went off, and I actually lost touch with Brent. I don't even know where he is now, but he went off, and I think he became a Marine. He went to the Marines, and you know, but he came, and you know, it was one of those things before he graduated. And he came, and I remember him shaking my hand, and I remember that handshake. I mean, that's why I do the job, and that's the thing. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, my hope for the future is that, you know, one day, I don't know when, but you know, one day we can all just understand that education is just so important. It is the meat and potatoes of any society. We pride ourselves that America's a democracy. Well, even if you go to Aristotle and you read in Plato, I mean, you need to be educated in order to have a working democracy. And I guess moving forward, that's what I hope. I hope, you know, we as Americans, you know, we can move past that idea of teaching as kind of a job for people that can't, you know, those that can't teach. And that's wrong, you know, because we are professionals, and we are passionate, and we are strong, and we really do look at ourselves, and maybe it's dramatic, but we look at ourselves as getting that next layer of society, that next generation, getting them ready for the problems that they're going to face. And that's all I got. So all I can say is, thank you, and from my heart to your heart, I hope this gets better.